Hi there, my name is Namida Sai, and last week I participated in a BlackThornProd Game Jam. Over the course of 7 days, more than 1,000 game developers were racking their brains and the depth of their game engines to make a game from scratch. And I was one of them. Kind of. I guess I did make a game. I don't like it much though. Yeah, okay, it's but that's okay. In this video I want to talk about what went wrong and what I could have done better. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more devlogs. The game jam started Saturday at 9 AM. The theme was less is more. I couldn't start the jam straight away, but I did spend the whole day mulling it over. Less is more could be applied to art, to a story, or to game design. What about making the most out of one mechanic, for example? But sometimes, however motivated you are, the theme of the game jam will just leave you dry. Every idea you come up with just feels meh, uninspiring. A bit like a salad without dressing. So on Sunday, when I finally got started, I wasn't excited about my idea of making a platformer where the less collectibles, the better. That's because I got stuck and kept focusing on the theme rather than thinking about games I would enjoy making. That was the first mistake. The second one was that midway through the week, I was still hesitating between focusing on the design or adding a story to it. I even wrote a poem I was going to include between levels. Ended up scratching it. So here's my advice. When the theme is announced, if you're feeling uninspired, forget about the theme. Focus on making something fun. You can always shoehorn the theme later on. And once you've decided to do that, don't look back. But how do you come up with a game idea if you don't have a theme? Before the jam even starts, I think it's a good call to already have a clear goal in mind for what you want to achieve. And no, finishing a game is not a good enough goal. What I mean here is ask yourself, what do I want to practice during this game jam? For example, I've recently been learning how to make stuff look good with Unity. Since I wasn't inspired with my idea, I focused on drawing a cute character and making particle effects, because as we know, particle effects make everything look awesome! I even made my first tile set and background on Monday. And it looks alright I guess, but because I had not decided from the get-go that the goal for this jam would be I want to make the best art possible, my lazy butt decided to stop right there rather than drawing more stuff. Like different tiles or trees, or I don't know, Sai, maybe you could have drawn more than just one type of cloud. On Tuesday, I wasn't as productive as I could have been. Because I had not done a proper prototype before doing the art, I still didn't know what my gameplay loop was. And because I had not clearly decided beforehand that I would focus on making good art, I ended up switching between adding lights, tweaking post-processing, whilst playing around with the collectible mechanic. What I should have done at this point was to really refine the platforming movement. I don't know, add coyote time, so that the jump is still possible a tiny moment after leaving the platform. Add input buffering, so that if you click jump a few moments before hitting the ground, it doesn't forget that you ever clicked the button. Yeah, let's admit it, I was just all over the place. So here's my second advice. Before the jam starts, have one clear objective apart from finishing a game, and make that your main focus through the whole thing. When the jam ends, you should aim to have at least one key part of your game that you're really proud of, even if the rest of your game is meh. For me, I think it was the music. It was the first time I joined a week-long game jam, so I was a bit at a loss as to how to tackle the whole thing. You can always cram enough work in the last 2 days to finish it in time, like with 48-hour jams. You can always cut features last minute. Hell, CD Projekt Red did it, so why not you, huh? No, what I'm talking about here is scheduling ahead. Even if your schedule does not work out, having a clear plan of what you're gonna do each day, not even, each half day, allows you to keep your mind framed in the right place. Without that, I ended up drifting. It's only when Wednesday came around and the deadline was around the corner that suddenly I realized, actually, if I make the player be able to drop the orb rather than having to cleanse it at a specific location, then there's more strategy involved. Yeah, that's kinda cool. Of course, at this point, I didn't really have the time to really explore that new mechanic. Thursday would be spent on music and sound effects, and Friday was for the last polish, like a start menu and an end screen. So here's my advice. Plan your time carefully, schedule it to the hour if you have to, and the longer the period of time available for the jam, the more important this is. Because the tighter your schedule is, the less hesitant you can be about your idea, which means more time is spent on actually making the game good, rather than moaning about the fact it's not great. So to recap, here are my 3 tips to making a good game during a game jam. 1. Dig through the theme as much as you can. But if it's not working out for you, let it go. Having fun is more important. Find some love for your project, because if you don't, it will show. 2. Have a goal in mind other than just finishing the game. Make sure that when the jam ends, you're extremely, stupidly ecstatic and proud of at least one part of your game. 3. Keep an extremely tight schedule. Deadlines breed creativity, but also rein it in. A careful plan will make you focus on making a good game, and that's it, no need to overthink it. I think that's my time. But I want to know more about your approach to game jams. Pop a thought in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps grow the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one!